Hi, everyone. This is Jasmine Sanchez, Senior Product Manager at Youreka. Welcome and thank you for taking time to learn more about the Delta release. Delta is one of the most meaningful Eureka releases to date because it focuses on the full fieldwork experience, from capturing richer data to turning that data into insight into supporting teams across regions and languages. This walkthrough is designed to give you a clear view of what is new and why it matters. We will focus on the business value of each enhancement rather than step-by-step configuration. For setup details, each feature is supported by release notes and knowledge-based documentation. As we move through the deck, we will focus on four major themes: richer data capture, faster insight, global scale, and a more modern experience for field teams and admins. Let's start with the big picture of what Delta delivers. Delta brings four major improvements together in one release. First, dynamic table sections help teams capture more complex, repeatable data in a structured way. This is especially valuable for inspections, testing, inventory, assets, and other field workflows where one visit may involve many related data points. Second, standard table section graphs help turn captured data into immediate insight. Instead of exporting data into another tool, teams can see trends directly inside the form and in the final PDF output. Third, Translation Manager helps organizations scale globally by centralizing template translation in one workspace. This makes it easier to support multilingual teams and customers while reducing the administrative effort required to manage translated forms. Finally, Delta introduces a more modern experience across the platform, including mobile app updates, PDF improvements, and admin enhancements. Together, these updates support the way fieldwork actually happens. Teams capture data, review it in context, share it clearly, and scale the process across users, regions, and languages. Let's start with dynamic table sections. For many field teams, repeatable data is at the center of the work. A technician may need to capture multiple readings, document several assets, list parts used, record deficiencies, or complete repeated checks during a single visit. Historically, capturing this type of information could require multiple sections or repeated questions or additional cleanup after the form was completed. Dynamic table sections simplify that experience. With dynamic table sections, users can capture repeatable data in a single intuitive table. Each row or column can represent a real Salesforce record, which means that the data is not just easier to enter, it is also cleaner, more structured, and more useful for reporting. This is valuable for both field teams and administrators. Technicians get a faster and more natural data entry experience, while admins get structured Salesforce records without manual cleanup or complex workarounds. Delta also supports row-based and column-based layouts, giving teams flexibility based on the type of work being performed. Connected dynamic tables can keep up to 5 related tables in sync, so related data stays aligned as records are added or removed. Dynamic table sections work across web, mobile, and advanced PDF, including offline use. That means the experience is consistent from the field to the final customer facing or compliance document. Dynamic table sections require the advanced data collection license. For a closer look at how this works in practice, a separate demo video is available for viewing. Once teams are done capturing richer data, the next question is, how quickly can they understand what the data is telling them? Standard table section graphs helps answer that question by turning table data into clear, professional line graphs directly inside the form. This is especially useful for workflows where trends matter. For example, pressure readings, temperature checks, vibration measurements, condition scores, or any other values captured repeatedly during a field visit. Instead of waiting until after the job is complete or exporting data into a separate reporting tool, users can see the trend while the work is still in the context. That helps technicians and supervisors identify outliers, patterns, or deteriorating conditions earlier. The graphs support up to 9 data series, along with custom colors, point styles, auto-generated legends, and auto-scaling. As values are entered or updated, the graph refreshes so the information remains readable and useful. There's also an important report benefit. These graphs can be included in advanced PDF outputs. That means customers, auditors, and internal teams can receive a polished document that includes both the captured data and the visual trend. Standard table section graphs helps make field data easier to interpret, easier to share, and more actionable. A separate demo video is available for viewing for anyone who wants to see the graphing experience in action. For organizations operating across regions, languages, or countries, translation is a critical part of scaling field operations. Before Delta, managing translated templates could require more manual effort across sections, questions, and values. As templates change, keeping translations complete and consistent could become time consuming for admins. Translation Manager provides a centralized workspace for managing multilingual templates. Admins can select a template and language and then work through the translatable context from one place. This includes sections, questions, and values. Progress indicators make it easier to understand what has been translated and what still needs attention, both at the section level and across the full template. Delta also introduces AI sister translation for customers with a Youreka AI license. The key point is that AI generated translations are staged for review before publishing. Admins stay in control with the ability to review, refine, and improve translations before they are used. For larger translation efforts, CSV import and export, along with bulk save, help make localization more efficient. The value is straightforward here. Translation Manager helps teams onboard new languages faster, maintain consistency, and reduce the administrative effort required to support global deployments. A separate demo video is available for viewing to show how Translation Manager works from the admin perspective. In addition to the flagship features, Delta includes several enhancements designed to improve the day-to-day experience for the admins and field users. The first is the AI admin panel. As AI capabilities become part of more workflows, admins need a clear place to understand what is available and how it is configured. The AI admin panel gives admins one place to view AI feature availability, manage shared model and credential settings, and configure supported open AI models. This helps organizations manage AI enabled functionality more consistently and with better visibility. Delta also includes a Youreka mobile refresh. The mobile experience has been visually updated with a cleaner homepage, modernized cards, refined headers, and improved navigation. The important point for customers is that this is a refresh and not a workflow disruption. Field teams can continue using the same core workflows, but with an interface that feels more modern, polished, and easier to read in the field. Together, these enhancements support both sides of the platform. Admins get better centralized control, and mobile users get a cleaner experience for everyday work. A separate demo video is available for viewing to highlight these updates in more detail. Delta also includes additional enhancements that improve output quality, usability, and administrative control across the platform. Advanced PDF enhancements help create more polished and readable documents. Dynamic table data can now be included in advanced PDF outputs. Table styling is respected, and tighter margins make better use of page space. This is especially important when PDFs are used for customer deliverables, audit records, or compliance documentation. The number iteration formula supports automatic sequential numbering across dynamic table rows and columns. This removes the need for manual counting and helps keep repeated data organized. Save photos to device gives admins the option to allow job site photos to be saved to the device gallery. This can be useful when teams need quick access to photos outside the app for warranty documentation, customer conversations, or low connectivity situations. Control trigger deployment gives admins a downloadable package for field link and link section triggers. This supports organizations with security review requirements by giving them more control over how triggers are reviewed and deployed. These updates may be smaller than the flagship features, but they are important because they reduce friction in everyday work. They help make documents cleaner, data easier to manage, photos easier to reference, and deployments easier to govern. When we step back, Delta is about improving the work end to end. For field teams, Delta supports higher productivity. Dynamic table sections make it easier to capture repeated data quickly and accurately, while graphs help users interpret that data in context. For the business, Delta improves data quality. Because dynamic table data can create and maintain Salesforce records, organizations get structured information that is easier to report on and use downstream. For admins, Delta reduces effort. Translation Manager centralizes localization, advanced PDF improvements reduce formatting work, and the AI admin panel creates a clearer place to manage AI related settings. For users, Delta delivers a better experience. The mobile refresh, cleaner PDFs, and more intuitive data capture all contribute to a more polished platform experience. The core message is this: Delta helps your field data work as hard as your teams do. It gives organizations better data, faster insight, and a stronger foundation for scaling field operations. To close, the Delta release brings together several meaningful improvements. Dynamic table sections help team capture richer, repeatable data. Standard table section graphs help turn that data into insight faster. Translation Manager helps organizations scale across languages and regions, and the broader platform enhancements improve the experience for admins, mobile users, and customers receiving final outputs. The next step is to explore the supporting demo videos and review the release notes and knowledge base articles for configuration details. Again, thank you for taking the time to learn about the Delta release. We are so excited for you to see how these capabilities can support your teams and help you get more value from Youreka.
Hi everybody, this is Connor Madigan on the Solutions Engineering team here at Youreka. This short video is to introduce everyone to one of the Youreka Delta release's most interesting and dynamic new features. We're calling this Dynamic Table Sections. And the purpose of this feature is to give Youreka Forms unprecedented flexibility in not only the amount of data that they can capture, but how people can capture it and whether or not they know that they need to capture it in the first place. These tables are designed to both grow horizontally and vertically, north, south, east, west, and can expand in row and column-based layouts. And the cool part about this is that each row or column is able to become a real Salesforce record, which means that we have instantly usable, clean data that goes right in as records that are instantly usable for things like Agentforce, reporting, dashboarding, etc. And another bonus is that we can not only have these tables inside of the forms, but they can be connected. So if we are able to add one row to a table, we can automatically trigger the requirement of an additional record in the next table. And finally, as with most Youreka features, this will work across mobile, online, offline, if we're connected in a web browser on a laptop or a desktop computer, and these will also feed forward into Youreka's advanced PDF generation capabilities so that we can have them as part of an output. But let's take a look at what one of these might look like. I have my iPad running on my desk here. Let's hop into an electrical check form. And I have my dynamic tables over on page 3. And we can see here to start, they're pretty blank. And if I want to add a single column, I can do this. But note that when I have my uncrating checkoff columns added, we'll also add the required additional tests in order to certify that I've unpacked and calibrated this asset correctly. So I can add a single column and we'll see these questions be added to both of these separate tables. And reminder, these can be registered as multiple related records inside of the system. So now if I need to add 3 additional columns, if I am inspecting 3 assets, and I just pulled all 3 out of the box, now I have this table that I can pan east to west, left to right on, and the additional tests below it. And if I need to revise and delete these, I can tap one of these little trash cans and the columns will delete themselves and of course go across the table too. But let's go ahead and enter in a couple data points here. Maybe this is part number 123, 123, and 1234. And we can certify that my parts are in good shape, the wire gauge has been correct, and we can move on with the additional testing portion of this table. And maybe the additional tests, we're just going to say they all passed, everything is looking good, and we can move on down the form. So it's difficult to show in a very quick video how important and incredibly powerful this dynamic table feature is. But then if we want to have an additional look at, hey, maybe I've identified some issues or some other problems when I've uncrated and started to expand on this, this table will allow us to enter in data in a number of different ways. And this could include something of a long text using speech-to-text dictation. There were a couple of finishing issues on this particular piece of equipment, nothing that is going to prevent it from functioning correctly, but I think that our QA team can do a little bit better. And I won't be replacing this one on such a small issue. I can decommission the serial number and we'll say that no, that we haven't replaced it and add any additional notes that I need to. And we can, just as before, expand these columns and add additional rows as needed. And we can see that this takes place not only in this table up here, but then in the subsequent one as well. And so maybe we'll go across here, say, yes, this one was preventable, and we can expand on this. Need better finish QA. And we'll maybe say that our next one was not preventable. But in essence, what we've been able to do is use Youreka's new dynamic table feature as part of our Delta release to enable technicians to not only test and record a wide variety of pieces of equipment and data points, but we've also given them the flexibility to have a form that grows and expands with their needs when they are in the field. And of course, when we were to bring this back to desktop after we have submitted the form, we can see that in our carbon copy version on desktop, of course, we're bringing across our graphs, but then we have these individual forms and fields inside of them as well. So our dynamic tables naturally will cascade over into desktop, and just like any other Youreka forms, if I need to make edits, further modifications, or changes inside of desktop, I have the ability to do so. So once again, dynamic tables is part of Youreka's Delta release. Very exciting new feature that allows technicians to capture a huge amount of data, but do it in such a way that maybe we weren't able to predict in a pre-field situation. So looking forward to seeing how all of our customers are able to deploy this and find creative new uses for this feature. Thank you.
Hello, Gary Stone here from Youreka, and today we're super excited to introduce the Delta release. And within the Delta release, we're chocked full of new feature and functionality. In this video, we are going to walk through our new graphing technology that's embedded directly inside of our forms. As you can see here on the right-hand side, as you enter data, the graph and scale will automatically adjust to the data that's being inputted. This will work online or offline, also on desktop or mobile, so really bring your own device to that respect. And it supports up to 9 different ranges, 9 different lines with icons and colors directly into the chart. There's no plugins whatsoever, and any data that you input into the form will then output directly into the PDF as well, so no additional configuration needed. All that said, let me give you a quick demonstration. Here on my mobile device, I have the ability to toggle offline, so again, supported online or offline, and then we'll go into our work order that we have today. And we've got an asset that we're going to inspect, and we want to make sure that we go through all the appropriate electrical checks. Now on page 2 of my form, I'll navigate down towards the bottom, and you'll start to see the table of data that I can input, and below that, the chart will automatically render based off of the inputs that I enter. So here I'm going to take some electrical tests on 4 different assets. And this is super powerful for me because it'll let me see, as I'm inspecting the equipment, if there's any anomalies and if I need to replace any portions of the asset, upgrade any gauges or electrical equipment. No problem with any of that. But as I input the data, it will then let me know if there's any high volume, large anomalies that I need to take action on as I'm inputting that data directly into the form. Now this is happening again in that on or offline state, which is great. So if I'm underground, if I'm working in a remote location, I'll be able to see exactly how those measurements compare to any other assets that I'm inspecting in the field. And here, for instance, we can see that there's a big anomaly. Perhaps I want to do some further testing or replace an item that might be overheating or getting too much or too little of an electric pulse. Now, just to give you a quick preview here, on desktop, the same feature and functionality is certainly supported. So you'll be able to see your charting and graphing on desktop, supported in community or console as well if needed. And of course, just like we had done before, as you're editing the form, you'll see that data changing on the fly. So as we add new values, the chart will re-render below on desktop as needed, as we just demonstrated on mobile. And then of course, as you finish up your form, you need to deliver an outputted product to your customer. You certainly can do so without any additional configuration inside of the PDF. Any of those charts and graphs that had been rendered, whether you're on or offline, as it syncs back to Salesforce, automatically pushes into a PDF, saves back to the record, and is ready for your distribution, whether you manually send it off or if it's done through automation. Thank you guys so much for the time. Again, just wanted to give you a quick preview of table section graphs in our Delta release. Let us know if you have any questions or if you'd like a demonstration at any point. Thank you. Hello, Gary Stom here from Youreka, and today we're covering our Delta release, which is chock full of exciting new feature and functionality. The one we're going to focus on in this brief video is Translation Manager. So for those of you that have multi-language requirements and you'd like to re-render the form in whatever language is supported by Salesforce, this is a great new powerful feature for you. And instead of having to right-click and tab everything open, it allows you to do it in a single pane of glass, kind of flattening that data model. And then whether you're online or offline, your technicians can translate the form on the fly. If they're preferring English and they'd like to show the form in German, Spanish, whatever that language might be, they could re-render that information, put it in front of a customer if they need to at any point in time. It's great to be able to manage one master template and be able to report across multiple languages. And it allows you to translate it quickly and effectively. You can make some quick modifications. There's an import and export with the CSV. It's a great way of standing up that global solution with multi-language very quickly. Let me give you a quick demonstration here just so you can understand it a little bit better. Today in my asset inspection form, you can see I've got a lot of questions here, and it's pulling data directly from Salesforce. Then I've got pre-safety checks down below. But if at any point I want to translate this into a language that I'm more comfortable with, you can see all of my questions re-rendering and each of the sections doing the same, as well as any of those potential answer values for those pick list values. And again, any language that you might be using, so long as it's supported by Salesforce, we certainly support it as well. But it will re-render on the fly, and this is supported on or offline. This was on my mobile device. The same is supported from desktop as well if you'd like to translate from desktop. And what I was talking about earlier on when I said that instead of having to right-click and tab everything open, here is my form template that I just demonstrated. Typically, you'd have to go into a related list. We'd have to tab open each of our sections and each of our questions. And each of the questions and sections have a related list. And you can see my translations here down below. So you simply create a translation record, plug in the language that you'd like or want to support, and then plug in your translated value. And then the user, whether they're on desktop, mobile, online, or offline, will be able to re-render the form according to whatever language they select. Now, the newest release inside of our Delta release is including our Translation Manager UI. So I'm going to pull up a quick translation of an incident report form template, and today we're going to translate it to German. So as I select the language, it shows me all of the different sections with the questions that are inside of each one. It shows me the progress of the entire template as well as the progress of each of the sections. Now, if I want to focus on a specific section, I can use our AI translator here to translate the missing values or all of the values. And it will translate on the fly using AI and then plug those values in and allow me to save it down below. So it'll just cache these and store these locally. I can make some additional changes if I have a technical portion of the form and I want to use that technical name, no problem. Totally up to you, but we'll save that and it stores it as a related list record, so it will re-render on the fly as I select a language in the form, again on desktop or mobile. I also have the ability to translate the entire form or translate the missing values of the entire form, so I wouldn't have to go into each of those sections and click that button. I can do it all en masse, and that will do that. Of course, it's going to take a couple of seconds here because I have quite a few questions and answer values, but it'll translate all of the sections, the questions, the answer values for me, and then save them locally here, and then I'll be able to save it down below. Well, again, we're waiting for that to finalize. We also have the ability to do this. If you've got somebody that you don't want managing the form templates themselves as an admin, you simply can export this to a CSV, share that file with them, let them translate it, and then we can import that CSV. It's a great way of sharing that with some power users that potentially have that native tongue comfortability and perhaps the familiarity with the assets that we are inspecting out in the field. But again, quickly and easily, this UI allows you to, it saves you a ton of time here to translate all those different sections, questions, answer values quickly and easily. Even the rich text guidance that's in there, it even keeps the formatting within. And of course, you'll be able to translate those further if you need to. But a great starting point to get you 99% of the way there, plug in the additional values, and you can build these forms at scale for your global solutions for all the different languages that you may be deploying in your solution. Now, if you have any questions about this Delta release or Translation Manager in general, please reach out to us. We're happy to demo this or answer any questions that you might have. But certainly appreciate the time and hope to hear from you soon.
Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine Sanchez and I'm the Senior Product Manager at Youreka. Today I'll be walking you through the UX enhancements coming in the Delta release. At a high level, this release includes two key updates, the AI Admin Panel and the Youreka Mobile UX Refresh. The AI Admin Panel gives admins one centralized place to manage Youreka AI features within Salesforce. From this page, admins can review which AI capabilities are active, select the AI model Youreka should use, update and test the API token, and configure AI discovery assignments for published form templates. The Youreka Mobile UX Refresh introduces a cleaner, more modern mobile experience. This update improves readability, spacing, visual consistency, navigation, and overall polish across key areas of the app. The core workflows and functionality remain unchanged, so users can keep working the same way, just with a more refined interface. I'll start by demoing the AI Admin Panel and then I'll move into the Youreka Mobile UX Refresh. To begin, I'll open the AI Admin Panel in Salesforce. The purpose of this page is to simplify AI administration by bringing the most important AI settings into one place. At the top, we have the AI Features section. This shows which Youreka AI features are available and whether they are currently active or inactive for the organization. For supported features such as AI discoveries, admins can enable the feature directly from this page when it's available for the organization. Next is the AI model section. This is where admins can select the AI model Youreka should use across AI-powered features. Youreka currently supports OpenAI and ChatGPT models, and admins can choose from the available list. Next to that is the API key section. For security, the existing API key is masked. When an API token needs to be updated, the admins can enter the new token in the Update API Token field and save the change. After updating the token, the admin should test the connection. This confirms that Youreka can successfully connect to the AI provider using the stored API key. The final area I'll walk through is the AI discovery assignments. AI discovery assignments allow admins to define which discovery types apply to each published form template. This helps Youreka generate discovery records from completed form answers based on the discovery types assigned to that template. To configure this, the admin selects a published form template. Once selected, the available discovery types are displayed. From here, the admin can select one or multiple discovery types, depending on the information they want Youreka to identify from completed form answers. It's important to note that AI discovery types are created from the Discovery Types tab. On the Discovery Type record, Enable AI Discoveries must be set to true for that discovery type to be available for AI discovery use. Once the desired discovery types are selected, the admin saves the assignment. Going forward, when AI discoveries are enabled and that template is used, Youreka can generate discovery records based on the assigned discovery types. A few important considerations as well. AI discovery assignments are only available for published form templates, and AI discoveries must be enabled before assignments can be used. Also, when templates are cloned or exported, AI discovery assignments are not automatically carried over, so admins should review and reconfigure assignments as needed. Overall, the AI admin panel gives admins a more organized and efficient way to manage AI configuration as adoption grows. Next, I'll move into the Youreka Mobile UX Refresh. This update is focused on improving the look and feel of the mobile app while keeping the existing workflows the same. As I move through the app, you will notice updates across several key areas, including cards, the Data Management tab, the Forms List tab, global UI elements, the sign menu, and the app header. Starting with the cards, we've improved the visual separation between cards and the background. This makes it easier for users to scan lists of forms, records, and work orders. We've also improved the readability of form statuses and updated the expand buttons on the accounts list so users can more clearly understand what actions are available. Next, in the Data Management tab, the layout has been refined to reduce text crowding and improve overall spacing. The card styling now better aligns with the forms and records list, which creates a more consistent experience across the app. We've also streamlined the color palette, repositioned the back button for a more standardized layout, and refined the typography and spacing throughout this tab. Moving to the Forms list tab, one of the key improvements is the back button. We've increased its visibility and emphasis so users can navigate more confidently. The forms list itself also includes an updated visual treatments and clear form status styling, making it easier for mobile users to understand where they are and what they're working on. There are also several global UI updates throughout the app. We've applied more consistent coloring, styling, and component patterns across tabs. The forms data sync spinner has been updated with smoother animation and refreshed blue styling, and the sync modal now has a more consistent design, typography, and visual treatment. In the side menu, we've improved the readability of the version number, increased contrast between the menu background and button options, and standardized color usage so icons and the username align with Youreka's branded blue. Finally, in the app header, we've standardized the back button behavior and design across pages. We've also adjusted the offline toggle so the yellow aligns more closely with the Youreka brand palette. Overall, the mobile refresh gives us users a cleaner, more consistent, and easier to read experience while preserving the workflows they already know. To recap, the Delta release includes two US-focused enhancements. The AI admin panel gives admins a centralized way to manage Eureka AI features, modal settings, API credentials, connection testing, and AI discovery assignments. The Eureka mobile UX refresh gives mobile users a more modern and polished interface with improved readability and consistency in navigation. Together, these updates support a better admin experience and a more refined mobile experience while keeping the core workflows familiar. That wraps up the UX enhancements coming in the Delta release. Thank you.